Welcome to Folded, Creased, and Crumpled. I'm Tina.
I'm Anna.
And we're here to talk about everything pens.
Stationery. Everything stationery.
Stationery, yes. That's what she said. Roll the intro. So, pens. I'm quite excited to talk about pens. I live for pens. And yes, Anna said stationery. I live for stationery too. But pens come with stationery. So when pens come with stationery, I write with pens every day. I don't work with stationery every day. Well, I guess I do, right? Because there's paper.
Tomato, tomato.
Yeah, you're right. So, but today we will be talking about pens specifically. So the main thing about pens that I love is just the different functionalities that it has in a way, right? Well, I shouldn't say the functionalities. The different types of pens that we have, especially nowadays, it's not just ballpoint pen, Bics. Now we have like gel pens, like we have erasable pens, we have
Pens,
like
pencils,
yeah,
markers.
And then you know what's coming back is those calligraphy pens, like the old school like calligraphy pens.
That's cool.
Yeah. So, I mean, and they have like where you can change the heads of it. It's super cool, but you have to like really know how to write with it. So, I work with somebody that saw me with one, which I don't know where it went now, but he said it scares him because those things used to leak all the time when he works with them. So, he's like, those things scare me. I feel like he threw it out. I can't find it since then, so I'm just saying. But the thing about pens is I am so judgmental. Like I can't explain it. Anna, how would you explain my pickiness?
You have a very unhealthy addiction to pens. You're very particular about what you do and do not like in a writing utensil. I don't even know what to say.
First off, I'm offended that you called it unhealthy. It's very healthy, by the way. But I do have two major criteria for pens that I look for. So for right now, I'm gonna grab one of my favorite types of pens, and they are the needle point tips. And if you don't know what they are, I can show you right now. They're like this. They are my favorite type. This is the 0.5 millimeter. And what it is it's thin, but it's not too thin. And it writes really, really well on notebook paper or 8.5 by 11 paper. I guess printer paper is what I call it. Writes really well on that. It also writes really well, basically writes really well on everything. But I find for cardstock, depending on the type of cardstock, the pen tends to like leak just a little bit. Not the cardstock I have today, but I guess on the ones that are more like recyclable, more, environmentally friendly, because it has like more of it's more textured. So the more textured it is, it tends to kind of not leak, but
it bleeds through.
Yeah, it bleeds through and it doesn't look as nice. So those are the only types of paper that I can think of that I would never use that on. But this definitely is the number one type of pen I would pick. But my number one criteria is always how it writes. I'm very, very picky. So the first thing I do is I look at this pen and I'm like, okay, cool. It says, so this one specifically is a color free ink roller. And I'm going to have Anna zoom in and show you. And actually, this isn't even 0.55. This is a 0.38. So I'll show you that, and then I'll roll it. Let me know. And this pen is really sweet. I got this in a subscription box. We'll talk about that later. Oops. So, clumsy me. So I'm going to do a quick little sample of just like how smooth I feel it is. Obviously you can't tell, but I can show you how nicely this writes. Nice, am I right? I know. Anyway, I'm just saying. And then the number 2 criteria is definitely just the aesthetic. I mean, for me, it's like, oh, this is a nice, like, my favorite color is blue. So if you have a blue colored pen, I'm immediately drawn to it. And I'll look at it and be like, oh, okay. So the aesthetics is very important to me as well. It has to look nice. It's kind of like food. If it doesn't look good, you don't want to eat it. So if it doesn't look good, I might not want to write with it. I mean, is that a bad example?
No, I think it's a great analogy. So it's safe to say your 2 criteria, number 1, how it writes, and number 2, how it looks.
No, it's number 1. Oh, no, yeah, you're right.
Okay. I was listening.
I'm glad someone is, because apparently I forgot.
I may have also heard you say this once or twice in the past.
Maybe. So it makes me think, I can't think of a reason why I'm so pen obsessed. It took me a while to think about it. But Anna and I were talking about it one day. And I said, I don't know. I don't know what caused this obsession and why it happened. And then I thought about it long and hard, and I was like, my mom. My mom is the reason why I'm pen obsessed. She collects pens from everywhere. So she goes to a hotel, and you know how hotels have those little notepads with the pens. She'll come home with it. She'll go to the, where I'm from, there's a casino. So then the casino, she'll go and they give her a pen being like, thanks for coming to our casino. And she'll be like, thanks for giving me a pen. Each of her purses or handbags has a pen in it. So there's everywhere she goes, everywhere, I can guarantee you, she will have a pen in her bag. No ifs, ands, or buts. If you're like, oh no, I have to write something down and I don't have it, she'll be like, hold on, I got it. And she'll pull it out of her purse. Can't promise you that it works every time.
But she has a pen.
But she has a pen. So I honestly think that is where it comes from. Because if you come to my parents' house, she'll put it in a coffee mug and it'll just be all different types of pens. And half of them I think she took when I was a kid in school, which is about 20 years ago or so. They don't work anymore. And if I try to throw it out, she freaks out like, oh no, this is my favorite pen. I'm like, Mom, the pen doesn't work anymore. Let's throw it out and get you some new ones. But she just keeps hoarding them. And so I'm going to blame her. I'm going to blame her for my pen addiction. Because I'm not going to lie. I was going to show Anna a pen when she came over, and guess what? I realized it was in a different handbag. Because I have a pen in every handbag. And now that I think about it, I remember where I put that pen that I wanted to talk about. It's in my backpack, the one that I take to work.
Should we go grab it? Is your backpack here? Can I hand it to you?
It's over there by my stuff. It's in the front pocket.
All right, I'm trying to find the bag.
It's under, I put it there in the front.
Is this?
No, in the front. Yeah, if you unzip it, there should be a pen there. So I carry this pen everywhere I go. While she's looking for this, I carry this pen everywhere I go.
Okay, hold on. This can't be it. The one that's from Walt Disney Resorts?
Yep. I carry this pen. She's making fun of me, but I carry this pen everywhere I go. And this will help me transition into what I want to talk about. So first things first is, this is the pen she's talking about. Am I giving Walt Disney sponsorship? If I show this pen, will I get sponsorship from Walt Disney? Just saying, I love Disney, but I will show this pen this way because they haven't sponsored us. But it's just a regular white pen.
We don't have their permission, you mean?
Yeah. I don't know. I don't want to risk it. Yeah?
Even though we've already said where the pen is from.
You're right. Okay. Screw it.
Okay. Give me one moment.
So this pen here, you're probably like, okay, you just said your favorite was a needlepoint. Yeah, you're right. But for traveling, these are the best pens to travel with, I realized. So that goes to all these pens that I decided to talk about that I would use for traveling and what I wouldn't use for traveling. But first things first, I also thought about this before we get into this. Is my aunt, my mom's sister, is another source of my problem. Because that just reminds me, when I was younger, my uncle and my aunt would buy me stationery as gifts. So every time they came to visit, because they live out of the state, out of country, they come to visit and they bring me either pens or any kind of stationery, mostly from my uncle's office. But it doesn't matter. I was happy to receive
Shout out
them.
to your uncle's office. Can we say?
We can't, well, he doesn't work there anymore.
Okay.
Computer. Because he used to work for a computer company. And what he would do is set us up. So I learned how to use a computer at 10, like at age 10. I knew how to work, like, I had an IBM. Yeah, we're going back.
Yeah, we're
old school. You don't need to know.
We're well above legal age. Let's put it that way.
And then my first program he ever bought me was a daily planner. So basically it's an animal planet because I love animals. And I downloaded this program and it was a journal. So it was a journal and a daily planner. So I could put everything I had to do, all my scheduling, everything in this planner. And it was on the computer. So I check it every day. So my obsession with stationery doesn't fall far from the tree. I'm just saying, like, now I know. But my aunt bought me my first pen. And I mean pen as in like not a big pen. She bought me a fancy schmancy Swarovski crystal pen. I still have it. This pen is so beautiful. It's just so beautiful. Look at this.
They are really pretty.
Very pretty. The crystal itself is just stunning to look at. But I will admit, it's not my favorite pen to write with. I kept it for sentimental reasons. Obviously, my aunt got it for me. It's the first pen that I've ever gotten that was like, well, I don't know if it's expensive,
It's
but
like
I'm
a
pretty
grown-up pen.
Yeah, and it had to been, we were trying to figure out, Anna and I were trying to figure out how long ago. I'm going to say within like 11 years. I got it sometime between that. My aunt bought it for me. And I just love it. It's really pretty. But to write with it was mediocre. But I'm going to try because it's been a while. Okay, I take that back. So I just wrote with it. It's actually quite smooth. So maybe I didn't give it the chance that it deserved. But I still wouldn't take this traveling just because if I lost this, I'd be really upset with it. And look, who else has a fancy pen?
I have one too. That my aunt, actually I should say my cousins got it for me. And that was from Italy. And there's a huge difference between the two of them. And they were probably purchased roughly around the same time. So we're thinking Swarovski has different styles throughout the world. Should I zoom in on that?
Yeah, see if you can. Let's try it. How would you like me to play? Oh, let's go fancy. Sorry, I got some pen mark on my hand. So, do you often write with this, Anna?
I wouldn't say often, but it is my purse pen. And if people are like, oh, I need a pen, I don't know, if I don't trust you, you're not getting my pen because it has sentimental value. They're obviously quite expensive. Swarovski is not a cheap product. And let's just say I would lend it to someone I know. If some stranger's like, we're on a plane and they need to borrow a pen, I would not take that traveling. That's not a travel pen for me.
No, definitely not, considering she still puts it in the case. I don't think I ever had a case that came with it, to be honest.
Really?
But yours does, and it's like super fancy. Look at this.
I like the case. I find it protects.
It's smart because like all this enamel here, the moment you put it in your purse, it's gonna get all scratched up. That's why I never put it in my purse.
Maybe because mine is white.
It would still get scratched up. You'd still see the metal.
No, I mean maybe the light colored pens came in a pen.
Oh, like they might get stained. I don't know. Or Italy's just fancier.
Maybe.
Let's be honest here. But now it comes to the traveling pens. So, like I said, the Walt Disney Resort pen that we just focused on before, I definitely, since I went to Disney last year, I definitely stole it from the Disney Resort.
Thanks, Disney.
I wrote with it and I was like, oh, it's a good traveling pen because it's a ballpoint pen. Ballpoint pens, in my opinion, are like the best traveling pens because it seldom leaks. And also, if you ever travel anywhere that they require you to fill out a visa form, or not a visa form, but what are those forms called? You have a form, customs form. It's a customs form. So you're returning back and they ask you questions like, oh, like how much you brought back? Did you bring any goods back and what kind of goods and all that jazz?
Did you visit a farm?
Yeah, did you visit a farm? And, you know, they want your like name, your birth, like where you're going to, address of where you're going to. Anyway, all that stuff. It's good to have a pen with you at all times. And I find because the only flat surface you're going to have is the food tray that comes out. And that food tray has like dimples. Like
it's textured.
Bumps. Yeah, it's textured. Thank you.
You're welcome, Tina.
Guys, that's why she's here. Textured surface. I find gel pens and other types of pens they won't write well. You'll end up ripping the paper. Trust me, I've tried. I wish I had samples, but I had to throw it out. But the ballpoint pens are the best ones. So I have a few that I travel with. So Walt Disney one I have with me in my backpack. Then I have it looks fancy, and it also came in a subscription box, which we'll talk about more later. But this one is also, it's pretty. It's a pretty looking pen, but it writes just the same. Like I'll show you. Just for you, Anna.
What word are you writing, Tina?
Aloha. It's my favorite word. I love anything to do with the Polynesian country, and I've always written aloha. I don't know why. Most people write their names. They write hello. Even like I've seen people write like just an X.
Which is not very creative, I don't think.
No, not at all. But yeah, I just have always written aloha. I don't know why. It's just a thing I do. I think I need to go to Hawaii. What do you say? But yes, this is one of the pens that I absolutely take for traveling. And then the last one is, okay, so this one I can't show you the name, but this is also a ballpoint pen, and this is from my friend's company that she used to work for. I don't know, she doesn't work there anymore, but it's still, I don't know if I haven't asked her if she's okay with like me saying when she used to work, so I'd rather not. But anyway, to show you. So this pen here is just a regular pen that she got from her work. Her work actually just gave it to her. And it's actually a nice writing pen. And I don't usually use ballpoint, but this one is really nice. It's really smooth. It writes the same as the one I just showed you, to be honest. So I always bring this one with me. And it's pretty funny because I wish our work had pens like this. And I don't know if it's the company that she works for that basically was able to spend more money on the material. And that's why, because our company doesn't have much money to spend on this type of stuff. I don't know. But I wrote with it once because I had to fill something out for her. And I was like, oh, this pen writes nice. And she's like, well, I have tons at work. Like, do you want one? I'm like, I will take it. So I've had it since then, and she no longer works here for the past 4 years. So I've had this pen for like at least 6 years. So these are basically, I showed you different types of pens, but at the end of the day, all 3 pens are ballpoint pens. And those are the best pens that I personally like to travel with. Because I know for a fact that it will write and it won't, any kind of texturized surface, you'll be fine. Like, it'll still do its job. But I always bring 2. I never just bring 1. Because if one runs out, you have another one. That's how it works, guys. So don't forget, always bring 2. And if they both work, great. You can share one with somebody next to you and you don't feel like, hey, like, sucks that you don't have a pen because I only have one. But like Anna said, I'm very, very cautious of like who I share my pens with, and I make sure they give it back because I will watch them until they give it back.
That is very true. She will watch you like a hawk. The only pen I look out for is my Swarovski pen. If I have like a random hotel pen or desk pen and someone walks off with it, I really don't care. I didn't really pay for that pen anyway. But my Swarovski pen, I'm very cautious of.
I have chased people down at work because they've taken my pen. So clearly, Anna and I are 2 different people. It wouldn't matter because any pen I use at work, honestly, is my own pen. I don't think any pen that I have from work, work has paid for. So guess what? You're not taking a pen that I paid for. That's right. But these are the 3 types of pens that are really nice writing ones, but I wouldn't take traveling. And those are the gel tip ones. These 3. I tested them all out before, so let me have Anna zoom in. Sorry guys, I'm trying to get this straight. So these pens are, again, they write really well. I really like these pens. I keep them for a reason, but they're not good with texture surface. They tend to, not all the time, but they tend to leak. And that's also another problem, especially when you go up, I was gonna say up into space. When you're flying and like everything changes, like the gravity changes and the altitude changes and just everything changes. And for some reason, sometimes, I don't know the science behind it, but it bursts. And I've seen people next to me and I've heard people in front of me on planes before just being like, oh no, my pen, it's bursting. What am I gonna do? I'm like, here's my ballpoint.
Tina to save the day with her ballpoint pen.
Right? You'll thank me later. And you can also be a hero. But yeah, so I, again, like love these pens, but they are not practical for traveling. And because sometimes the luggage tags that they have are kind of waxy, they don't write well with gel pens either. So
good tip.
Right? You're welcome. But yeah, but one pen that I've tested in the in the past is this pen. Again, I got this in a subscription box. And let me tell you, it's called a Schneider Slider Edge XB. I thought it was the coolest thing. I'm going to have Anna zoom in on this. Actually, I'm going to do it this way so you can see better of why I'm saying this. Like, look how cool this pen is.
Put it more of an angle.
This pen, if you look at it, has this like amazing ballpoint. And I'm going to have Anna zoom in and then I'm going to have her zoom down while I write on it. And you're going to see why I hate this pen.
Don't hold back, Tina.
Okay. Can you see Anna?
Yep.
Oh, I can't even spell. I'm sorry.
Apologize for nothing. It looks pretty on camera.
Yeah, I dug deep. So it's kind of darker because if you write your normal writing like grip, it's usually pretty like faint.
Oh.
So when I write with this thing, I had to apply more pressure on it. Just because if you write your regular, I guess like, I don't know, like usually when you write, you're not like, ugh, you know, and that's what I had to do with this pen. Because otherwise it starts cutting out the letters into pieces.
So would you say the flow of ink is interrupted? Like it's not fluid?
Yes.
Okay.
Thank you, Anna.
Anytime,
My savior again. I was like cutting off the letters. it just skips, and then it just looks like your lettering, like just your writing is just cut off. It doesn't look good. And it's kind of sad because it's like a really cool, unique pen. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to probably put this in the, don't worry about it.
Just keep going. You didn't like that pen anyway.
The drawer for my nieces that they can use when they come and visit me. And they don't ever need to know that I don't like that pen, and that's why I gave it to them. They can think I'm a cool aunt. I am a cool aunt.
You are a very cool aunt.
So with that being said, that is today's episode of Traveling Pens. And am I missing anything?
Please like and subscribe the video. And let us know in the comments what you would like us to review. Especially if there's any subscription boxes, because I'm pretty sure I can convince Tina to buy one or two. And in the future, we will have unboxing videos because Tina is already subscribed to a couple of subscription boxes. But thank you so much.
I have one thing. I just thought of it. That's
okay.
why I was like waiting for her to finish.
Okay.
In regards to the subscription boxes, they are such a great gift, by the way. I want to say that because my friend Lewis is an artist, and he's an amazing artist, and I'll have to show you one day what he drew me, because he like drew for me as a gift. And also, if we're lucky, he might even make an appearance one day. Just saying. Future episodes, maybe. Who knows? But yeah, I'm addicted to subscription boxes, and there's a few companies that I've been looking into and really, really trying so hard not to spend my entire pay on. Like, I really am trying, and yeah, I love it. I love it, and I cannot wait to do more of these videos with you and with Anna, of course.
Likewise.
But for the time being, thank you for tuning in to Folded, Creased, and Crumpled. Anna and I both appreciate it very much. Please remember to like, subscribe, and also leave us a comment. I'm down for reading out a comment what kind of, like Anna said, what kind of subscription boxes that we should try out, what type of pens you like. Because again,
or other stationery products.
Right, other stationery products. And honestly, if we even get one viewer, I'd be happy.
One viewer that we don't know.
Yeah, someone we don't know. So if you are that one viewer we don't know, please subscribe
and like.
We'd appreciate it. But thank you again. See you soon. Peace.